दार्विक गिरिधारी शिष्य राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतल शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतल शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शुतल शुत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शुतर शुत शिशुमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शुतर शुत शिशुमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट महाभगवत श्री गोरक्षदास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानुग गौरीय गुरु वर्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नाम चय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट विदात गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जाय। जय वन सेकेंड ओके जय श्रील गोपाल भट्ट गोस्वामी पार की जाय। तदीय शुभ आविर्भाव तिथि की जाय। श्री रामचंद्र कविराज की जाय। तदीय शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि की जाय। श्रीमद नयनानंद दास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। तदीय शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि की जाय। जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जाय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल हरि बोल। So we will do the Mangala Charan and then Kishori Mohan Prabhu will lead us in this program. Just one second, I'll share my screen and then we'll begin. Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Gaudiya Gaurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Varati Mingilo Daragatan Udritya Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdika Hana Sukham Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhim Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Vrishabhanusutan Vitavamatanu Yamuna Tattanagarnanda Sutam Murali Kalagita Vinoda Parang Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum Smara Gaura Gadadhara Keli Kalang Bhava Gaura Gadadhara Paksha Chara Shrinu Gaura Gadadhara Charu Kathang Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvam Nayamam Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptascha Kamadhitaranga Madhye Kripa Mai Tvam Sharanam Papanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams, dear devotees. Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Kishori Mohan Prabhu, Sarveshwari Mataji, Deepika Didi, Rukmini Didi. Let's see who is on YouTube and Facebook. One second. I see Madhubala Didi, guessing Raseshwari Mataji is there, and Indira Mataji, and all the other devotees. If you leave a comment, right now I just see a number, but if you leave a comment, I'll see who you are. So, also pranams to all the devotees who will be watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jayadev Prabhu, Krishna Vallabha Didi, Ananda Pradayini Didi, Vrinda Didi, and Anuradha Mataji, and everybody else. So today we have a very special guest who needs no introduction, Kishori Mohan Prabhu. He is joining us today, and he'll be going through, I don't know what yet, Ātma-nivedana and any other songs of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura that you like from Sharanagati, if you like. And also, today is the auspicious appearance day of Śrīla Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī. It's a disappearance day of Ramachandra Kaviraj. And yeah, I'll hand it over to you. You can do however you want. You could you could spend as much time on Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī or on the song of, like, it's all in your hands now. As everybody knows here, my programs have been pretty just whatever we feel at the moment. So no, so yeah, I'll hand it over to you.
Dandavat pranam, Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna. Madhukar Prabhu, what page in your songbook is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koromore?
I have no idea, but
That's because you've been working on the new version. So you've changed your page numbers.
And I never look at page numbers just because I know like where everything is, and so I just kind of like flip. But I'll put it up on the screen though so that people can sing along.
Okay, Dandavat pranam, all Vaishnavas. Madhukar Prabhu already named all of you who are and who will be. So I'm very privileged to be requested to do this seva today, to be able to remember something of the glories of Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, of Sri Ramchandra Kaviraj, and also of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura in his Sharanagati prayers. I feel very blessed, as Śrīla Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj would always tell, Jai Vaishnava Sevile Achintya Krishna Pai, that just by serving Vaishnavas, one will attain the shelter of Krishna. And just by remembering Guru Vaishnava, Guru Vaishnava Smaran, by remembering Guru, Vaishnava, Bhagavan, just by remembering them, all kinds of anarthas will disappear from the heart, and all kinds of auspiciousness will manifest in the heart. And so being given this opportunity, especially on this holy day, I feel especially blessed. Thank you, Madhukar Prabhu, for this. And I would like to start with a little Mangalacharan of my own. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Ajnanatimiraandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayanati Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate giring yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurung Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Śrīla Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Gosvāmī Maharaj, and the same thousands of Dandava Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad, Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas, past, present, and future, including all of you who are present here today, I offer my Dandavat Pranam. Radhe Radhe. Can you hear me okay, Madhukar Prabhu?
Yes. Oh, and just one thing I want to say before you start. I had problems with my mic this morning, so that's why we're starting a little bit late. But so it's okay if you go a little bit overtime. If you go a little bit past 8 o'clock,
Okay.
no worries.
I can hear your mic having problems. It has
Yeah.
a fuzz or maybe a condition issue.
Yeah.
Okay, Dandavat Pranam. Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani, Sarveshwari, Ruchira, Datta, Nikita, Koli, Deepika, and Madhukar Prabhu. I can't see anyone else. So, I want to keep Thakurji there in the picture. So before singing the bhajan, the Sharanagati bhajan, and the discussion that we're going to be having regarding that bhajan, I would first like to remember what I have heard and read about the glories of Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, whose appearance anniversary we are celebrating today, and Sri Ramchandra Kaviraj, whose disappearance anniversary we are observing today. And then we will come to the subject. But actually the subject, the real subject, the subject even of Krishna himself is Vaishnavas. Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite paro, tomara shakti ache. Krishna is yours, O Vaishnav Thakur. You can give Krishna. This is within your power. And this is the important point about Vaishnavas. Because of their love and affection, they have been able to conquer and capture Krishna within the core of their heart. Interestingly, Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, whose day we are observing today, wrote a commentary on Sri Krishna Karnamrita. And Sri Krishna Karnamrita is by Bilva Mangal Thakur. Now, Bilva Mangal Thakur has written one beautiful bhajan, Chaurangraganyam Purusham Namami. I'm not going to sing the whole thing, but he's saying, Braje Basantam Namanita Choram, Chaurangraganyam Chadukula Choram, Aneka Janmarjita Papa Choram, Chaurangraganyam Purusham Namami. So he's saying that Krishna is the supreme thief, and because he is a thief, then I'm going to capture him within the prison of my heart, and I will never let him go. Who can capture Krishna? He's unconquerable, uncapturable. So who can conquer him? Only that person whose love and whose mamata, whose possessive mood is greater than Krishna's. So Mother Yashoda, although she was quite hefty and middle-aged, as our Gurudev would say, she was able to run faster than Krishna because of her prem, And not only that, she was able to catch him, who's otherwise uncatchable. And then she was able to bind him. She also instilled fear in his heart, although death itself is afraid of him, all because of her Vatsalya Prem. So Prem is what captures Bhagavan. Prem is what controls Bhagavan. Prem is what Bhagavan wants to be captured and controlled by. And the Vaishnavas, the pure Vaishnavas, they are the ones who capture and control Bhagavan. So Mahadev himself, Lord Shiva, has told, actually there's something greater than worshipping Bhagavan. Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnur aradhana param. Of all worshipable personalities, Vishnu is the topmost. Vishnu or Krishna. Tasmat, but, O Devi, Parataram, there's something more than that. Parataram, higher than worshipping Vishnu. Tadiyanam samarchanam, to worship or serve that person who is near and dear to Krishna, that is even higher. And we see that in the case of the prayers of Sri Satyavrat Muni in Damodarashtakam. He starts with Namam Ishwaram Satchidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Namam Ishwaram. He's serving or praying to the Supreme Controller, whose form is composed of Sat Chit Ananda, Satchidananda Rupam. He's praying like this in the beginning with full Aishwarya Gyan. Later on, by the fourth verse, he comes to Idam Teva Purnata Gopāla Bhalam. He's praying to have constant darshan of that beautiful form of Bal Gopal. But by the very end, now Śrīla Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj explained that actually it wasn't something, this Damodarashtakam wasn't something that Satyavrat Muni sat down and just wrote. It was his own, I'm going to use the words of Śrīla Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, subjective evolution of consciousness over millions of years. As he was progressing, he was writing more and writing more and writing more. But you see, by the very end, what does he pray for? The mercy of Tadiya. Namo Radhikaye Tadiya Priyaye Namo Nantalilaye Devaya Tubhyam. So he's praying to that topmost Tadiya of Krishna. Who is that? Srimati Radhika. Krishna thinks she is my own. And she has this mood, Madhya Bhav. Krishna is mine. Chandravali has Tadiya Bhav. I am Krishna's. But what controls Krishna the most? Who has this mamata that Krishna is mine. Therefore, Srimati Radhika's mamata completely controls and bewilders and captivates the mind and heart of Krishna in every and all ways at all times. Therefore, Krishna himself has stated unequivocally, Radhikar Prema Guru Ami Shishyanata Sada Ahamanana Nritye Nachaya Udbhata. Radhika is my Guru of Prem, and I am simply her dancing pupil. She makes me dance various novel dances according to her tune. So Krishna, as our Srila Prabhupada has told, becomes simply a plaything in the hands of the gopis. Amazing, isn't it? He becomes completely controlled by their love and affection. So more than praying directly to Krishna, who goes directly to Krishna? Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura has said, Kevala Madhava Pujaye So Agyani. Those who try to worship Krishna directly and Krishna alone, their puja is ignorant. Radha Anadara Pujaye Mani. Those who neglect Srimati Radhika, their service, their puja is simply full of arrogance and conceit. Actually, Radha Pada Bina Kabu Krishna Nahi Mile Radhara Dasira Krishna Sarva Vede Bole. All Vedas are declaring that without attaining the shelter of the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika, one cannot attain the shelter of Krishna. In fact, Krishna becomes the property of the maidservants of Srimati Radhika. And today is our opportunity to remember and glorify such personalities as Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī and Ramachandra Kaviraj, who are those personalities who own Krishna. Krishna becomes their property. So it's quite amazing. Sri Kavi Karnapur has explained that Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, he said, according to my opinion, Kavi Karnapur and Bhakti Ratnakar said, according to my opinion, actually Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī in Krishna Lila is Ananga Manjari. But according to the opinion of so many others, Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī in Krishna Lila is Guna Manjari. So if you go to Radharaman temple, they're singing all the bhajans. Radharamana Ju Gyaru Kije. I have to be careful, he'll start becoming hungry if I sing his prasad song. But at the end it says, Guna Manjari Karakanjana Pavana. So it is Guna Manjari who is bringing this. Now we know that many of the maidservants of Srimati Radhika, they have multiple names and multiple titles. We know that Raghunath Das Goswami is known as Rati Manjari, but sometimes he's also referred to as Tulsi Manjari. I have a question, Madhukar Prabhu. Are Radha and Krishna behind me reversed, or do they look correct?
They look correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
All's good.
Because when I move my hand, it looks reversed. I just didn't want them to be in the wrong way. Srila Gurudev told that actually everything, the way that Radha and Krishna stand, the way that Krishna crosses his leg in the particular direction of Srimati Radhika, all of that has very, very deep meaning. So we'll discuss that at another time. So Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, he comes from South India. He was born in Sri Rangam to a very great devotee of Sriman Narayan in the Sri Sampradaya. His father, Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī's father's name is Vyankata Bhatta. Vyankata Bhatta has two brothers. One is Trimala Bhatta, and the other one is Sri Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad. Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad is famous especially for Radha Rasa Shuddhanidhi, Vrindavana Mahimamrita, Chaitanya Chandramrita, and so many other amazing Rasik Granthas. And actually in Krishna Lila, Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad is... I can't hear you, Madhukar. Tunga Vidya Sakhi.
Oh, Tunga Vidya, of course. Sorry, I didn't know that.
That's okay. Tunga Vidya Sakhi, as Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad, is recognizing the bliss that the maidservants of Srimati Radhika attain by service, and even she is expressing, or Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad is expressing, that let me become even one stick in the broom that sweeps the kunja of Srimati Radhika. So he's aspiring for this kind of maidservant bhav anyhow. Lokanath Goswami, I believe, is Manjulali Manjarina. So, Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad, very qualified personalities. Vyankata Bhatta, Trimala Bhatta. And Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī is the son of Vyankata Bhatta. So Sri Rangam is a massive, probably one of the most massive temple structures in South India. I went there and I actually stayed in those rooms where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying for about a week, because my father made friends. I was 10 years old, but he made friends with the head pujaris, gave big donations. One of our family members got sick, so the pujaris kept us in those rooms and took care of us for about a week. So in Sri Rangam, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there, this is a very big, beautiful temple with 7 main gates, and it is massive. He went there at the time of Chaturmas, and he was dancing in the temple, feeling his life successful. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, he is covered in the bhav, the mood, the sentiment, and therefore the complexion of Srimati Radhika. As is natural for any associate of the Lord, they will always see their Ishtadev everywhere. So when Jagannath entered the temple of when Mahaprabhu entered the temple of Jagannath in Puri, he did not see Jagannath. Chaitanya Charitamrita states that he actually saw Sakshat Brajendra Nandan. He saw Brajendra Nandan Shyamasundar Krishna in Vrindavan because he was in the mood of Srimati Radhika seeing her own beloved Shyamasundar. So as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going from temple to temple, he's always seeing his Ishtadev everywhere. Who's the Ishtadev of Srimati Radhika? Radha Vallabh Krishna Shyamasundar Nandanandan of Vrindavan. So he's seeing Krishna everywhere. So he was dancing in ecstasy in the temple of Sri Rangam, weeping and crying and engaging everyone in kirtan. Vyankata Bhatta, these personalities, the father and the uncles of Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, were actually the main pundits, the main pujaris, and the main in charge of that temple in Sri Rangam, great leaders within the Sri Sampradaya at that time. So they saw the ecstasy manifesting in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya witnessed. And they knew that this is not ordinary, that his symptoms, according to all scriptures, are extraordinary and not of human nature. So Venkatapata invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come to his home. They all bathed his feet, and all of the family took the charanamrit from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They gave him prasad, and Venkatapata petitioned to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that you should stay in Sri Rangam during the 4 months of Chaturmasya. 4 months, that's quite amazing. So traditionally, because the rivers would all overflow and it was difficult to travel, although sannyasis should never remain in any one location and they should continue traveling. What happens when you remain in one location? You start collecting stuff. You start forming bonds and attachments with those who you're living with, even though you would never conceive of that, but it's just natural. So sannyasis, they're always supposed to travel, move, go from one place to the next, and share about Krishna. But during the 4 months of Chaturmas, it is difficult, or was traditionally difficult, to travel, practically impossible. I mean, how big would Yamuna or Ganga river become when the floods grow like that? So they would stay in one place. But during those 4 months of Chaturmasya, some very strict regulations have also been imposed so that there's a balance between too much comfort and attachment and everything else that could form if you are taking only one small meal a day and undergoing severe tapasya and austerities. It creates a kind of balance from what could be attachment to material enjoyment and the counterbalance, which is severe tapasya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agreed to remain in Sri Rangam at the home of Venkatapata for those 4 months of Chaturmasya. And every day they were serving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Young Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī was quite young at the time, maybe up to 10 years old. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is said, would take him on his lap and give him embraces. He would treat him very kindly and affectionately. And also, as is the case in all of ancient India, whenever any sadhu or great personality would come to one's home, the family would engage their children, their daughters and sons, in serving the sadhu. We've seen this with Rukmini and Narada Muni when he went to the palace of King Bhishmak. We've seen how she was serving him. We've seen how Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, when he was young Gopal, was serving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In so many cases, how Nityananda Prabhu took very young Jiva Goswami and carried him and brought him all around Navadvip and showed him all of the holy places of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. So this was a constant thing. Also Vishvamitra, he came to Dasharath Maharaj and requested to take Ram with him. Dasharath Maharaj was completely aghast at the idea, but yet, because the sadhu had requested, so they had to let them go. In this case, Gopāla Bhaṭṭa was engaged in serving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, cleaning up after him, accompanying him to the river to bathe, carrying his gamsha, etc., etc., as Srila Gurudev did also with Śrīla Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj. Remember this history. So Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, he wasn't known as Goswami at the time, he was known as Gopal. Bhatta was their family name. And he was serving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in so many ways, and he would also receive the remnants from the plate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu lathered him with so much affection. It is told that this is symbolic of what he would become later on. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told that there are 3 extremely powerful substances. Gurudev said so powerful that they can reverse our causeless unwillingness on the path of bhakti. When Gurudev said that, I woke up and I was like, yes, what is it? Bhakta Padaduli ar Bhakta Padajal Bhakta Bhukta Avashesh Etin Mahabal. These 3 substances are so powerful. 1, the dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotee. 2, the water that has washed their feet. Now, this was the first experience of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They washed his feet and they all took that charanamrit. And Bhakta Bhukta Avashesh, the remnants of their foodstuff. So Gopāla Bhaṭṭa was receiving the remnants from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regularly during these 4 months of Chaturmas. you might not see this in the West, but in Indian culture, if someone really has affection for you and they are senior to you, they will mix something with their own hand on their own plate and put it in your mouth directly. Have you ever experienced that, Madhukar Prabhu? The affection. No. You know Nirmala? Yes, she does. She was like that. She would mix the rice and dal and everything. And with love and affection, she would like try to place it in our mouths. It was sweet. I remember once, many, many years ago, I was serving, trying to serve Srila Gurudev, but I thought perhaps if I gave Pujapad Madha Maharaj a massage, because he was slapping oil on his own back, and his back was as hard as a board, and he could barely sit because he was in so much pain, that he would be able to serve Gurudev better. And so instead of going to Gurudev, who had a person on every finger and every toe trying to massage him, I would go to Madhav Maharaj. And he really appreciated that I was giving him massage. So he would send me into Gurudev's room when no one else was there, when Gurudev was about ready to take rest. And I would be on Gurudev's bed under the cover, like it would be covering me, massaging Gurudev's legs. And it was just me and Gurudev. So Madhav Maharaj gave me that opportunity because I was serving the servant. But then he would say, come here, sit next to me during prasad. And from his own plate, he was mixing and he would like give it to me like that. And so this is traditional Indian culture. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had such deep and sweet affection for Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa, very young Gopāla Bhaṭṭa. And he told him, because when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was about ready to leave, Gopāla Bhaṭṭa, young Gopal, practically felt unconscious. He couldn't even tolerate the idea. He became so attached to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu told him, your parents are elderly. You should look after them. And once they leave this world, then you should go to Vrindavan and join Rup and Sanatan. So Gopāla Bhaṭṭa followed these instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gopāla Bhaṭṭa was the disciple of Sri Prabodhananda Saraswatipad, his uncle, who was brilliant in every way. I mean, if you read his poetry and if you understand, he was well versed in all shastras, all bhakti shastra, all tattva siddhanta and everything, and perfect in all ways. So Gopāla Bhaṭṭa learned everything from him. He was well versed in many languages. He knew Sanskrit, he knew so many things, but also he was saturated with the prem of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was saturated with the moods of bhakti and bhav and prem. And so he was complete, as Gurudev would say, Rasik Bhabuk Tattvagya Vaishnava. This is Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī. And so he remained there in Srirangam, learning under the guidance of Sri Prabodhananda Saraswatipad for those 4 months. Now, there's a very important thing that happened when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, which I did not yet mention. And time is going, I have to be careful. What time is it? It's only 7:38. Oh my God. Hare Krishna. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would have so many tattvik and rasik conversations with Venkatapata, Trimal Bhatta, Prabodhananda Saraswatipad. And they were very stalwart followers of the Sri Sampradaya. So Sri Sampradaya is predominated by Lakshmi Devi. And those who follow in the path of Lakshmi Devi worship Lakshmi Narayan in Vaikuntha. So this was their nature. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jokingly asked some question. How is it that the Upanishads, the Rishichari, Municharis, they became gopis in Vrindavan, but your Lakshmi, still to this day, cannot do so? And they were like, well, Krishna and Narayan are the same thing. You know, according to Brahma Samhita, Deeparchadeva Hita Santaram Abhyupetya Deepayate, fire is fire. This is all Vishnu Tattva. So Narayan is manifesting in the form as Krishna and performing his pastimes. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, listen. Why is Lakshmi Devi still doing austerities in Belban and she cannot attain the position of worshipping Krishna in his Braj pastimes if she's the eternal consort of Sriman Narayan? And they were like, don't joke with us like this. We don't know all of this. You are Bhagavan, so we can understand that you know everything, so you should tell us. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very gentle, don't mind me, it's okay, but, and then he would speak a little bit more. And so, based on the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the prayers of the Nagapatnis are praying to Krishna, the wives of Kaliya, after Krishna has basically stomped all the poison out of Kaliya by dancing so beautifully on his heads, on his hoods. The Nagapatnis are praying, how is it possible that our husband, Kaliya, has received the mercy of your lotus feet upon his heads, when even Lakshmi Devi herself, to this day, is still doing tapasya austerities and cannot receive that? So based on the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu convinced them that there is a speciality and difference. If Krishna is being worshipped by Srimati Radhika and hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis, right? What is it? Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpavriksha lakshavrateshu surabhir abhipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra shata sambrama sevyamanam. Millions and millions of gopis are worshipping Krishna, but Lakshmi sahasra. That means hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis. So they were thinking, yeah, how is it possible? And then all Shastra is saying that Srimati Radhika is Sarva Lakshmi Mai, the topmost Lakshmi, the source of all other Lakshmis. So Srila Gurudev explained that by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's very sweet but beautiful conversation with them, they had only come up to that point in their spiritual progression of Vaikuntha Gyan. But by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their souls were able to continue to progress toward their own internal inherent position of servants of Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. So he didn't change their Atma, but he helped them to awaken what was inside. Srila Gurudev explains this. Whereas with Murari Gupta and Anupam, they couldn't be changed because they were already situated within their eternal prem to Sri Ramachandra. Although Mahaprabhu gave all of the convincing arguments, still they could not be changed because they had already attained their perfectional state internally as servants of Sri Ramachandra. So the family of Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī and Gopāla Bhaṭṭa himself all became converted to Gaudiya Vaishnavas, means worshippers of Sri Radha Krishna. I find it interesting that Sri Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad chose to make his bhajan kutir at the very same place where those personalities who glorified Krishna as dancing on the heads of their husband have spoken these words that Lakshmi Devi is still doing austerities. He has made his bhajan kutir at Kaliya Hrad. So it's quite interesting that he's made his bhajan kutir there. This is like his connection to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is what brought him to Braj. This is what awakened his Radha Dasyam Bhav, everything. So Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, after his parents departed from this world, he was then, on the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, came to Vrindavan to be under the guidance of Rup and Sanatan. And he was indispensable in the works that they were doing. In fact, it was Sri Sanatana Goswami who composed or pulled together all of the Shastra from Hari Bhakti Vilas, but he placed it in the name of Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, and they worked together and collaborated. So Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī made some commentaries also on Hari Bhakti Vilas. All of the works, or all of the rituals, Vaishnava activities that we do, Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī collected from all of the different Shastras. Basically, he carried all of that knowledge with him to Vrindavan. And Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī has composed or compiled the Sat Kriya Sar Dipika, all of the actions or the activities that Vaishnavas should do. And then also he has made a commentary on the beautiful composition of Sri Bilva Mangal Thakur, whose bhajan place is also right there at the same place as Sri Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad at Kaliya Hrad. And so he made a commentary on Sri Krishna Karnamrit, which is the nectar to the ears of Krishna, the glorification that Bilva Mangal Thakur gave. And also, Srila Jiva Goswami, in the very beginning of his commentaries on the Tattva Sandarbhas, has given glory to that person who actually gave the outline or the format. All of the outline for the Tattva Sandarbhas, this was given by Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī. The way Śrīla Jiva Goswami says it is, a Brahmin from South India. He has made this compilation, and now I'm collecting verses to fill it out. So as proofs to what he has given, Jiva Goswami collected the other verses to fill out the Tattva Sandarbhas, but this was given initially by Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī. Now, Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Goswāmī's glories would be completely incomplete if we did not mention one particular amazing, beautiful personality. Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī. When he was coming from South India, Srila Gurudev explained, and our acharyas explained, that he didn't just come directly to Vrindavan, he went to many different holy locations, and he also went to the north, to the river, Gandaki, where all of the Shalagram Shilas are found. So this is very far north. So he did some pilgrimage before coming to Vrindavan. And as he was bathing, it is told in many different ways, but it is said that as he was bathing, he was collecting a lota of water, and there was a shalagram that came inside that lota, so he took it out. And then he went to bathe again, and this same shalagram kept coming in. And it was many times why is the shalagram coming? And so anyhow, he ended up with 12 shalagrams. And then he made his way to Vrindavan. When he was in Vrindavan, when he met Rupa and Sanatan and the others of Braj, there was such a beautiful connection between them. Rupa and Sanatan actually had known that Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī is coming. It is said that they already prepared to write Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that now Gopāla Bhaṭṭa has arrived from South India. When Mahaprabhu received that message, immediately he sent a message and some transcendentals. I cannot call them materials. He sent his own kopin, which is a sign of renunciation. He sent his own wooden seat, so many different mahaprashads, so to speak, for Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī. Imagine receiving the personal remnants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī was in bliss receiving these things from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but also Rupa and Sanatan immediately embraced him and accepted him as their own brother. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy about this. Now, when Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī had arrived in Vrindavan, he saw how Rupa Goswami was worshipping Govindaji. He saw how Sanatana Goswami was worshipping Madan Mohan. And it was so beautiful and lavish how they were worshipping their Thakurji. Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī had received some nice cloth and gems and everything, like jewelry, to worship his Thakurji. But it is difficult to dress Shalagram Shila in very ornate clothing because he doesn't have arms, he doesn't have legs. How do you dress him like that? You can make him cute, but you cannot dress him like you can Govindaji or Damodar, Madan Mohan, Madan Gopal. So he was thinking, oh, I would like to be able to serve my Thakurji like Rupa and Sanatan, but I don't have this capacity because their forms are not adequate or suitable for receiving this kind of shringar. Krishna has a nature to always reciprocate with the love and affection of his devotees. So whatever the devotee desires, Krishna is desperate to fulfill that. And because Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī wanted to serve his Thakurji like they were serving their Thakurji, it is said that he was at what is known as Radhanaman Ghera. This is just near Nidhuvan. And Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, when he would take rest, he would place his shalagrams in a cloth bag and tie them to the branch of a tree. So one night, as he was resting, he heard a voice, "Oh Gopal, come and see. Just see how beautiful I am." This is how Srila Gurudev told it. Gopal jumped up from his bed. From his rest. He was completely amazed at the dream and the voice that he heard and ran to go see his shalagrams, because just see how beautiful I am. When he took down this cloth bag with shalagrams, he saw that from one of them, the Damodar Shila, a beautiful form had self-manifested. Swayambhu Shri Radharamana Ju Ki Jai. So Shri Radharaman manifested from the heart of Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī. We should understand how powerful the devotees are, that by their desire, Krishna is controlled. So Krishna manifested like this by the desire of Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī. When the other Vaishnavas, Rupa, Sanatan, and all the other Brajbasis heard and saw the ecstasy of Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, seeing this beautiful Ṭhākura of Sri Radharaman, tears of ecstasy were flowing from their eyes, and they were so happy. Radharaman has manifested from Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī. So at that time he was called Sri Radharaman Dev. Srila Gurudev said that he had the feet of Madan Mohan. This is Sambandha Tattva. He had the torso of Govindaji. This is Abhideya Tattva. And the face of Gopinath. This is Prayojan Tattva. So actually it is when Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada came to Vrindavan, at that time, because he was preaching so strongly against all kinds of Apasiddhanta, Apasampradaya, and everything, the Smartas and all of those who were Apasampradaya decided, let's block him from entering the temples. So they blocked him and all of his disciples from entering the temples. There was a big debate, though, however, at Radharaman temple, and the head Goswami there, who had been friendly with Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, in fact, he stayed there in the Radharaman Gera for some time and preached along with them Archan Tattva, because at that time there were so many different groups, Mayavadi groups, Brahma Samaj, etc., who were basically like the ones who wanted to put a dog on top of the temple of Jagannath at the time of Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura to try to prove that there's no difference between a dog and Jagannath. This was their mood at the time. So the Radharaman Goswamis and Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, they teamed together to travel and preach about Archan Tattva based on Shastra. And so they were close with Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. Also, young Saraswati Prabhupada had been there with his father, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. So that was the only temple that allowed him in. And when he went in front of Radharaman, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, in Sri Radharaman, I see our Gaudiya Teen Ṭhākura. I see Madan Mohan, Govinda, and Gopinath. So when our Guru Varga are telling this, Govinda, Gopinath, Madan Mohan are in Radharaman. This is because Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada himself told this. Now, they place a little crown next to Radharaman to signify Srimati Radhika, but actually everyone knows, especially the Radharaman Goswami they know, the Goswamis know that he is complete. So Radhika is within him. Therefore, he's known as Radharaman. He's not alone. He is Radhika's Raman. And he's known as Radharaman. So Gurudev said that this is actually not really appropriate, the side thing of Srimati Radhika, because she is already present there within him. So by the love of Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, Sri Radharaman manifested. And so Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, actually from his lineage, he has made some very, very powerful and prominent disciples, among whom one of them is Srinivas Acharya, who wrote Sri Shad Goswami Ashtakam, Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghujago Sri Jiva Gopalako. The Srinivas Acharya, from his lineage, he was the one who traveled, right? Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda. He was actually the senior, quite senior, to Narottam and Shyamananda. And so Narottam and Shyamananda saw Srinivas like their guru. And he was the main person whom all of the Pandits, the Parivars, and all of the Pujaris in all of the temples of Vrindavan have come from. So even if you go to Jaipur, Govindaji Mandir, Radha Damodar, and all of them, they say that their lineage comes from Srinivas Acharya. So this is coming from the line of Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī. And I'm not saying seminal line, but his disciple and his disciples and who they put in charge, this has come from Srinivas Acharya. There was also one prominent disciple of Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī named Gopinath. And Gopinath, he came from the north when Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī was preaching in the north. That person who brought him in, one very nice Brahmin brought him into his home and served him and prayed to him also that I would like to have a child. So Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī blessed him that may you have a child and may he be a pure devotee of Krishna. And so that Brahmin told Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī that when the time comes, I will send him to you and he can assist you in all services. So he sent this Gopinath who came to Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī when he was like 10 or 12 years old, that I have been sent by my father to assist you in all seva. And so he served completely following Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī for the rest of his days. And I think the Radharaman Parivar has descended primarily from him. So Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, he engaged in discussing all Shastras, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, with the other Goswamis of Vrindavan. And by the mercy of Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī, we have received Radharaman, who is like the only Thakurji from that time who actually remained in Vrindavan. Even Madhavendra Puripad was directed to unearth Gopal from the mud and the thickets by Gopal himself in his vision, in his darshan and dream. But eventually, because of so many attacks by the invaders, the Yavanas and the Mlechas, the Muslimen, they sent this Gopal to Nathdwar. They gave him a different name because they were actually being named, that you should destroy this deity, you should destroy that one, you should destroy this one, with their name. So they changed his name to Srinathji, and they moved him out to Udaipur, and they called that place Nathdwar. So to this day, the descendants of Vallabhacharya are worshipping that same Gopal deity. But Radharaman is small and beautiful and sweet, so he was able to be kept in Vrindavan. How did they do it? They lowered him down into the well when it was dangerous. And then when there was no danger, they would bring him up, they would make their offerings and everything. So they maintained the worship of Sri Radharaman for all of these years. Also, there's Rupa Goswami's Yogamaya at Govindaji. She was in a cave. She remained here. And then Vrinda Devi, way out in Kamyavan, she remained. But everyone else had to be removed because of the danger, the imminent danger of the destruction that was coming from the Muslim attackers at that time. I don't have much more time. Madhukar Prabhu said that I can get a few more minutes. Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī ki jai. Today is also...
I think you can go till 8:15, if that's okay.
Okay. Today is also the disappearance anniversary of Sri Ramachandra Kaviraj. Now, Sri Ramachandra Kaviraj is a disciple of Srinivas Acharya. So he would be a grand disciple of Sri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī. So today is the disappearance of Ramachandra Kaviraj. Now, Ramachandra Kaviraj is famous for one particular activity. Although he was a disciple of Srinivas Acharya, due to the family connections, he was married, and it was quite a beautiful wedding, and everyone was proclaiming how they are so beautiful, like Indra and his consort, or Lakshmi and Narayan. And as they were going in their procession, Ramachandra saw Srinivas Acharya. Now, everyone was so blissful and happy, as they are at weddings in India. It is like the thing. Everyone's like, so happy. And they're glorifying it. But the pure devotees, they don't look at that and think, wow, unless they know that a pure devotee is manifesting through that, they see, what are you doing? For trillions and trillions and trillions of lifetimes, you've been bound in samsara, and now you're binding yourself again. What are you doing? You should use every moment of this life in the endeavor for perfection. This human form of life is so rare. Labdva sadurlabhamidam sambhavante manusham artadam anityamapi hadhira turnam yate tanapatet anumrityavan nishreyashaya vishaya kalu sarvatasyat. You can have sense gratification in any other life, but only from the human form can you endeavor for perfection. So as long as your body and soul are still together, one should utilize every moment in the endeavor for perfection. Everything else, as Gurudev said, when I approached him in 1996, and I said, I want to make sure that my marriage is going to be a very beautiful ceremony, because marriage is a very important institution. I told Gurudev, I didn't know anything about him. And he said, no, not so important. He said, it will divide your bhakti in two. And then he started Then children will come, family, house, and he came to the last finger. And then where is Krishna? And I was thinking, oh my God, Krishna's not even 10%, maybe 2%. And he just 10%ed my 2%. And I was like, oh my God. At that moment, I saw that it was like these Mahabharata, you know how they shoot one arrow and each one doubles and then those double. And I saw thousands of divisions. And Gurudev had been speaking about one-pointed bhakti the entire month of Kartik. But, you know, I was new and young and stupid. Anyhow, so I declared this in front of Gurudev, and he said, these things are not important. Guru, Harinam, the path of bhakti, the activities of bhakti, these things are important. He said, everything else is not important. So Srinivas Acharya did something like that to Ramchandra Kaviraj. He was completely unimpressed. Everyone was glorifying him. Wow, how happy. Wow, you're going to have a beautiful wedded life. And Srinivas Acharya was just completely unimpressed. So Ramchandra left the wedding procession party and came to see his Gurudev. And seeing that his Gurudev was displeased, he fell at the feet of his Gurudev and he never left. He remained there. Basically, on his wedding day, he took sannyas and continued to serve his Gurudev for the rest of his life. Now, Ramchandra Kaviraj, he, of course, is a pure devotee of the Lord. Now, he had a brother, Govinda, who was not very faithful in Bhagavan. In fact, it is said he was quite atheistic. And he was in the process of dying. So at that time, on the petition of Ramchandra Kaviraj, who was very near to Narottam Das Thakur, he petitioned Narottam, please come and speak Srimad Bhagavatam to my brother. Because if you hear Bhagavatam before you die, then you will attain liberation. He needed help. So Ramchandra was petitioning Narottam Das, but Narottam Das did not have the time. He was busy doing other sevas. So I can't remember who at the moment, another great Vaishnava came and read and spoke the entire Srimad Bhagavatam to this Govinda. By the end, Govinda's heart completely changed. And this is just before his departure from this world. And from his mouth came a beautiful prayer and poem. Bhajahu Remana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charana Ravindare Dulabhamanava Janama Satsange Taraha E Bhava Sindure. O mind, Bhajahure Mana Shri Nandanandana. You should worship Shri Nandanandana. Only this will take away all fear. Abhaya Charana Ravindare. Dulabhamanava. This human form of life is so rare. We should utilize it for only that thing which will bring us perfection. Taraho E Bhava Sindure, which will bring us across the ocean of material existence. And that is satsang. Take shelter of the lotus feet of pure devotees and always hear the glories of the Lord from them. So this is a very famous bhajan manifested from the heart of Govinda Das Kaviraj, whose heart was purified by Srimad Bhagavatam due to the petition of Ramchandra Kaviraj. This is why we take shelter of and hold on to the lotus feet of pure Vaishnavas. Look at our own condition. How much love and affection do we have for Krishna? How much of it is actually one-pointed? How much division of our love and affection do we have in this world to everything else other than Krishna? Even the queens in Dwarka have a maximum of 8.25% for Krishna because they have 10 sons, 1 daughter, and Krishna. Plus they have their families, their palaces, and everything else. A maximum of 8.25%. What about us? We depend upon the mercy, the grace of the pure Vaishnavas. As Ramchandra Kaviraj petitioned profusely on behalf of his wayward brother Govinda, and by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, Govinda was converted, his heart was changed, and he became a pure devotee of the Lord. So in the same way, as Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura tells, Shuniya amara duk Vaishnava Thakur amalagi Krishne avedi bena prachur. Seeing my pitiful, suffering condition. What is our suffering? Ignorance of Krishna or neglect of Krishna and complete absorption in this material world. Seeing my suffering, pitiful condition, the Vaishnavas will profusely petition the Lord on my behalf. Vaishnavira avedane Krishna doyamoy. Hearing the prayers of the Vaishnavas, Krishna will bestow his mercy. Eheno pamara prati habena sadoy. Then I will understand the true wealth that I have received. Eheno pamara prati habena sadoy. So really it is by the mercy of the Vaishnavas who petition Krishna on our behalf, as we have seen in the case of Ramchandra Kaviraj petitioning the Vaishnavas on behalf of Govinda, that please be merciful to him, please help him. So we take shelter of our Gurudev, we take shelter of the Vaishnavas, and we admit, really, I'm so unfortunate, I'm so foolish. Your mercy is everything to me. Jogyata vichare kichu nahi pai. I have nothing, I have no good intelligence, I don't know anything, I'm a fool. But tomara karuna sar, your mercy is everything to me. Without your mercy, I will not be able to maintain my life. With this kind of mood, surrendering and submitting to the lotus feet of Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas, we pray to them, please, just like we pray to Nityananda Prabhu, please always keep me close to your reddish lotus feet. Please, I'm holding on to your lotus feet and I will never let go. So, what is it? Dridha kori dharo nitayar pai. I'm taking shelter of your two lotus feet and begging you, petitioning you to please be merciful to me. So they petition the Lord profusely on our behalf because they have the ear of the Lord by their prayers, by their love and affection. Sad anga sharanagati hoibe jahar tahar prarthana shune Sri Nanda Kumar. That person who has completely surrendered to Krishna, Krishna will hear their prayers directly. Tahar prarthana shune. Shune means to hear. Their prayer, prarthana. Sri Nanda Kumar. Nanda Kumar, Sri Krishna himself will hear the prayer of those who are completely surrendered to him. So we take shelter of those persons who are surrendered to Krishna. Ramchandra Kaviraj was very, very near and dear to Sri Narottam Das Thakur. In fact, he says, Ramachandra Sangamage Narottama Das. This is referring to Ramchandra Kaviraj. Very close. In fact, he was a prominent Kirtaniya in that Keturi festival with Sri Narottam Das Thakur. So, Sorry. Ramachandra Sangamage Narottama Das. Is this Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu? Doya Koramore? So,
yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, so Sri Ramachandra Kaviraj ki jai. And I didn't get to this verse, Ātma-nivedana, but this prayer, but everything I spoke about is related to this prayer. So that will have to come on another day. Because actually, we were sitting in front of Srila Gurudev in San Diego in a private darshan, and we sang the bhajan Sarvasva Tomar, which you have already discussed. And Srila Gurudev looked at us very, very gravely, in a very deep mood. And he said, these bhajans, these Sharanagat bhajans, like Sarvasva Tomar, Manasa Deho Geho, Ātma-nivedana Tuapade Kori, and Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. He named the four. But he said these Sharanagat bhajans, he said they can also be sung for Sri Gurudev. And that's why I chose this particular bhajan. Because first we apply that mood at the lotus feet of Sri Guru, and then he will purify and qualify that mood and then offer it unto the lotus feet of Krishna. So that's why I wanted this particular bhajan. It's a mood of submittance and surrender and completely taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. But because today is the day of Ramchandra Kaviraj, the disappearance day of Ramchandra Kaviraj, I would like to sing the bhajan of Sri Narottam Das Thakur very quickly. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Kuramore Tomabina Kedayalu Jagata Sangsare. Page 96 in Madhukar Prabhu's version of Sri Gaudiya-Gīti-Gucha. Oh, I don't even need the book. Because he ends with Ramachandra Sangamage Narottama Das. And since it's still morning here, quite early, we will sing this bhajan in the morning tune. Okay. Shri Krishna. Oh gosh, I only know that other tune. Hold on. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Toma Vina Ke Doyalu Jagata Sangsare Patita Pavano Hetu Tavaya Avataro Mo Samapatita Prabhu Napai Be Aro Ha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripavalokanam Koro Ami boro duki Doya koro sitapati Advaita Goshai Tava kripa bole pai Chaitanya nitai Ha swarup sanatana Rupa Raghunatho Bhatta Jugo Shri Jivaha Prabhu Lokanatho Doya Koro Shri Acharjo Prabhu Shri Nivaso Ramachandra Sangomage Narottama Daso Ramachandra Sangomage Narottama Daso Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Gurudev 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 Jai Prabhupada 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 Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol Shri Gopāla Bhaṭṭa Gosvāmī Pāda Ki Jai Tadiya Avirbhāva Mahamahotsav Ki Jai Shri Ramchandra Kaviraj Ki Jai Tadiya Tirobhāva Mahamahotsav Ki Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, Kishori Mohan. That was wonderful. This is actually, we never get this many people. Also, there's 23 people watching right now.
Oh, I only see 10.
You're making my program popular. Oh yeah, Rukmini Didi is mentioning it's Nayanananda Das Babaji Maharaj.
Nayanananda Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. I don't know anything about him, but Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Bharati Maharaj said, if you don't know anything about them, just say their name and Ki Jai. So,
Jai.
Jai.
Shubha Ki Jai.
Jai.
um, Yeah, so um I was gonna say, oh yeah, so maybe this tomorrow will be our last day of Sharanagati, and I know you'll be traveling that day. You're gonna be in a taxi, but then the next week we're gonna start all of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura's songs on all the Upadesh songs. So he wrote songs on every verse of Manashiksha. He wrote songs on the verses of Upadeshamrita.
I
He
love
wrote
that.
19 songs to and then there's I know songs that you really like Bhajare like those two songs, you know, like
Mm,
um and so that will be the focus for the next week. And I'd love
okay.
if you can come on again sometime next week if that's possible for you and you can.
Okay, I'll check my schedules. We have I have to go to Delhi on the 8th. I have to go to Delhi on the 10th, and then we, we
Okay,
have a
and then
lot
the
of
week,
different
if you
programs.
can't do it next, and if it's not possible next week for the Upadesh songs, then the week after that will be all the like daily kirtans, like the Arati songs, Mahaprasad songs, the Nagar kirtans, the Arunodoy kirtans, and like that. So, but anyway,
Okay,
I'll let you know our schedule, and you can see whatever works for you, and it'd be great to have you again.
that's wonderful. I apologize for not coming to the bhajan. Amara Ātma-nivedana tu apade kori. But actually, on the days of the Vaishnavas, as I started, it is more important for us to remember about them and speak about their glories. Right? Guru
Cool.
Vaishnav Bhagavan, Tiner Smaran Hoy, Sarva Vigya Vinashan. So thank you, Madhukar, for giving me this opportunity. Dandavat Pranam to all of you beautiful Vaishnavas, and we look forward to meeting again. Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Yes, and thank you everybody for joining. Nri Harivu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Sarveshwari Mataji, Rukmini Didi, Deepika Didi, and of course Kishori Mohan Prabhu, um, and Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Champak Mataji, Karuna Didi, and Nikita Didi, Harivu. And let's see, on YouTube and Facebook. I only see the names of people write comments, but I see Madhubala Didi. I see Shripad Bhaktivedanta Sajan Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams Maharaj, Vidya Lalasa Didi, Ishan Prabhu, and 13 devotees there. Dandavat Pranams, everybody. And also Pranams to all the devotees watching in the future, like Shashi Devi Jayade Prabhu, Krishna Vallabha Didi, Ananda Pradayani Didi, and um, Sai Vrinda Didi, Anuradha Mataji, and everybody else. Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much for joining. Tomorrow will be our last day to go over Sharanagati songs. It's definitely not enough time for Sharanagati. We'll have to maybe at some point after Gaur Purnima or sometime we'll have to do another program for Sharanagati so that we don't have to rush it and we can spend more time. All right. Very cool. Is there anything anybody wants to mention before this program before I end the stream for today? All right. Dandavat pranams, everybody. See you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Hari Bol.